Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Narayana Montufar. I am an astrologer, artist, and author who finds inspiration in the symbolic language of astrology. I invite you to subscribe to my channel or like this video so you can keep getting the content that I will be creating in the near future. Today, I am here to bring you key dates to put in your calendar, as tomorrow we have a really two big shifts in the sky as Aquarian season begins, the season of Aquarius, the water bearer. The reason why I decided to make a video about this is because I consider, and a lot of other astrologers consider, this Aquarius season being groundbreaking. And this is due to the movement of Pluto, the last planet in the solar system, which has been toggling between Capricorn and Aquarius. But tomorrow really feels like the big entrance. And if you want to hear about this, I created a video about the astrology of 2024 in which I talk a little bit more deeply about this. And I also uploaded an Instagram live that I had with a colleague of mine on IG Live. And then in that live, we dive deeper into what to expect and what are the energies that are coming in for this super duper important transit. But for now, I will talk a little bit about Pluto, but a little bit more geared towards what it means for some of the signs, because it is more important for some of the signs than others. And I will talk about other transits that will occur during this Aquarius season. So I have some slides here for you. And if you want to take these slides, you can also go to my Instagram. I post them as well over there. But for now, here they are, and you can take screenshots. So what are the dates that will affect every single zodiac sign? I'm going to start with that. So basically, on Saturday, I'm filming this Friday night, obviously. So on Saturday, tomorrow, we have the conjunction of the Sun and Pluto, still in Capricorn. They meet at the very last degree and the very last minute of Capricorn. So it just feels like a huge ending of some sorts. And this conjunction stays active for 5 days. So between January 20th and January 25th, we just have this intensity. We have a lot of endings and beginnings arriving for the collective, for society, but also for a lot of the zodiac signs, especially the fixed signs. Pluto rules everything that lurks below the surface. It rules secrets. It rules power dynamics, as well as the shadows. So these are days that are going to pull us down so we can go beneath the surface and really observe. I think that this is about observing. What are the themes that are coming up for us? You might have already been feeling this like I did. I actually felt this energy really strongly creeping in at the end of 2023. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm really tuned into Pluto. But these days brim with intensity. We will probably hear a lot of news in the collective involving powerful people or the government. And at a personal level, we're starting to build something. Something is starting to take form for us. So I invite you to be more observant during these first days of Aquarius season. Then on January 23rd, we have Venus entering Capricorn. Right now, as I'm filming this, Venus is forming a square with Neptune. So things feel a little nebulous or confusing. But as soon as Venus enters Capricorn, there is this energy of, okay, I know which road to take. And what I like about this is that Venus is going to traverse the same degrees that Mars traversed pretty recently, actually. I actually made a video about Mars in Capricorn, so I invite you to watch that video, because here I avoid, not avoided, but in this video I kind of left out the Mars transits because I created a video just for Mars in Capricorn. I invite you to take a look at that. But what I like about Venus is that Venus is going to push forward whatever Mars initiated in the realm of career. So we have the two kind of like cosmic lovers being very serious right now. There's this energy of seriousness, of like, let's get down to business. Let's make stuff happen. And so Venus in Capricorn is going to help us keep going in our career dynamics, whatever we're doing, getting a new jobs, or chasing specific goals. Venus is going to help us with that. Venus is going to stay in Capricorn for 3 weeks. So we have this energy of like getting stuff done, getting down to business, and love and romance get a little bit serious when Venus is in Capricorn. So if you are wondering why your partner is acting a little bit more serious or just a little bit cold, it's this energy of having the planet of love and pleasure in one of the most serious signs, and in a Saturn ruled sign. So it's industrious, but it's very productive. On January 25th, and I spoke about this in my Mars in Capricorn video, we have a pretty intense full moon. And the reason why this full moon is intense is because it is basically forming really intense aspects to all planets. So keeping it real here, I gotta tell you, this full moon will be intense. And also, Mars is forming a square with Chiron on the same day. So this is a full moon to keep your cool as much as possible. This full moon is going to be actually opposing Pluto, which just entered Aquarius. So again, new themes. Even though full moons are times of of endings and culminations, I feel like this full moon brings both endings but also beginnings, because we're gonna have the first full moon opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So it's definitely a time to keep a low profile and keep it chill, because Leo energy is bold and it can be fun, but because the moon will be creating intense aspects to pretty much every other planet in the solar system, keep your cool. I'm doing an Instagram live about this on Tuesday if you want to join me. The very next day, after the full moon, we have Uranus, the planet of change, accelerated change, actually. Uranus rules accelerated change, the planet of freedom and surprises coming out of retrograde. I think Uranus has been retrograde for the past 5 months. And so as Uranus goes direct, it kind of adds more intensity to the full moon vibrations already. We're going to feel Uranus stationing since before the full moon, I think. I feel like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, it's already going to feel like supercharged when a planet is stationing either retrograde or direct, and especially Uranus stationing direct, could just feel like, whoa, just like the energy is really supercharged in the sky. Some surprises. That's why I also feel like this full moon will bring surprises. And the fixed signs are the ones that will need to keep their cool more than any other signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius here. And so the good news is that Uranus is going to have a conjunction with Jupiter later on. So that feels like a promising conjunction. I talk about that in my 2024 video. And 2 days that I'm really liking after all of this full moon intensity and Uranus going direct, and there's just surprises and a lot of conversations that take place. I do like January 28th and 29th because we have all the natal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, forming beautiful trines with Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. So these days do feel like positive. If there were endings during the full moon, if there was intensity and surprises, I feel like this energy comes in and just creates this opportunity, this optimism. And the earth signs in particular can really make something beautiful out of this combination of energies, because we have a total of 5 planets working together here as we close the month. And so this feels like a good omen. And that's why I also think that the stationing of Uranus could bring nice surprises, because like if it was, the full moon is intense, but we have all this earth energy, all this earth energy as the culminating the month. So it just feels, these days feel promising to me. Then there we jump all the way to February 4th and 5th, which is when Mercury enters Aquarius after the Sun. The Sun enters tomorrow, but Mercury is the next planet to enter Aquarius. And as it enters Aquarius, it immediately forms a conjunction with Pluto. So many messages will arrive. Emails, letters, people. Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the cosmic messenger. So be ready to receive maybe shocking news, maybe things that propel you into the future. I feel like right now we're in this transitional phase in our lives with Pluto coming out of Capricorn and entering Aquarius. And the fact that Mercury comes in too, because Mercury is always following the sun. This is when we receive all of the messages. This is when we find out what are the themes we're going to be working with, not only in Aquarius season, but in the next 20 years. So Mercury delivers. This is a perfect aspect for going deep, for doing research, for doing some self-analysis, for finding something, finding like going deep into a mystery. To me, this combination of Mercury and Pluto is kind of like the secret agent, or like the investigator aspect. It just dives below the surface and finds information. So this is a great time for research, for example. Then on February 8th, we have the Sun in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. And the next day is the new moon in Aquarius. So this month's new moon is squaring Uranus. This is when the surprises keep coming. It's kind of like, whoa, more surprises, more surprises. And this is what Aquarius season brings, an activation of Jupiter. We have activations of Jupiter as the natal planet square Jupiter and then Uranus. So there are good things coming this Aquarius season, but in order to grab those opportunities, in order to make the best of this energy, we're going to have to shift gears. We're going to have to go with the flow and say yes to change. Some of these change might feel uncomfortable because Uranus brings change that feels uncomfortable, that feels shocking or just unexpected. And that is what's going to happen around this time when the sun squares Uranus and we have a new moon in Aquarius squaring Uranus. On a positive note, this feels to me like a time traveling lunation. It feels like, okay, this is when we get it. The past is in the past. There's no going back. We can only move forward. And we can see the path forward now. Like things are getting clear. Because like now Mercury is completely out of its post-shadow period. It just feels like we're picking up steam during this new moon. It can be a good new moon to set intentions if you know that there will be changes to your plans. All new moons bring new beginnings. And on February 9th, we have the sun and the moon meeting around 20 degrees of Aquarius. And it just feels like a good time to set intentions for the future, but also a good time to know that those intentions will have to change, or the plan is going to change, the strategy is going to change. So if you're comfortable with that, manifest during that new moon. For some of us, that's a really good new moon. For example, if you're an Aquarius, that's your new moon for the year. Or if you're Aquarius rising, that's your new moon for the year. For example, Aquarius rules my 10th house. So I am going to set intentions for for my career in complete awareness that I will have to make adjustments. And then on February 13th, so Valentine's, let's talk about Valentine's Day. There's a really nice aspect, but there's a really intense aspect. On February 13th, Venus, which is in Capricorn by then, is forming a beautiful sextile with Neptune. This is what Hollywood movies are made of, like just beauty and chocolates and just this glamour and prettiness. The thing is, we also have an intense aspect from Mars. This is on Valentine's. Mars forms a conjunction with Pluto. So Valentine's Day, it just feels like, or those 2 days, 13 and 14 and even 15, it just feels like it could be kind of like an emotional roller coaster, in a way. It could be great if you already know what to expect from your partner. Like, it could be great if you know them really well and you're already kind of talked about what to do for Valentine's and all of this. But if you are kind of maybe in a new relationship, it helps to know that there are kind of like two encountered energies. There's a really sweet and rosy colored vibe, but there's also this vibe of intensity, of like kind of maybe power plays, or there are certain information, there's some certain information that comes up to the surface. So just keep your awareness. It's nothing to be scared about, but just because Pluto is so supercharged. This Aquarius season is like, we have to like figure out how Pluto is going to be now. We don't know this Pluto yet. And then on February 16th, then Venus also enters Aquarius and forms a conjunction with Pluto. So you see, we have little by little, the planets are forming conjunctions with Pluto. That's why I keep talking about Pluto, and that's why if you go on other channels, you will constantly hear astrologers talk about Pluto, because like the sun forms a conjunction with Pluto, then Mercury forms a conjunction with Pluto, then Mars forms a conjunction with Pluto, and lastly, Venus is the last planet to form a conjunction with Pluto. So Aquarius season is a lot about Uranus energy of like embrace change, go with the flow, and don't get stuck, because the more you get stuck, you won't be able to flow, right? You won't be able to like take advantage of opportunities. There will be opportunities because Jupiter is going to get activated, but we also have activations of Uranus and Pluto. So take a look at Pluto in your chart, and your relationship with Pluto, your natal relationship with Pluto, will inform on how to move forward in Aquarius season. When Venus conjuncts Pluto, like it happens on February 17th, relationships adopt a new layer of intensity. There could be obsessions. There could be intensity in romance and sexual relationships. It can be kind of weird if you're dating someone new, for example, because you don't know, right? You're right. It could be kind of, okay, let's take it slow. Take it slow. Because Pluto wants to rush. Pluto wants it all. And so this is just a time to keep awareness. Okay, so now I'm going to move forward with the 12 zodiac signs. And I have mostly 3 key dates for each one. For some of them I have 4, but for most of them I have 3. And I'm actually starting with Aquarius, not with Aries, because it's Aquarius season, so Aquarians should go first, I think. Wow. Aquarius, what an incredible time to be you. Pluto is the planet of transformation, death and rebirth, the shadow, psychology, intensity. It's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, the more you embrace Plutonian energy of transformation, the better you will do these birthday seasons, and especially during the first 5 days, which is when the sun will conjunct Pluto. You will feel this Plutonian energy, if you were born during the first few days of Aquarius, or if you have your moon or rising in the first degrees of Aquarius. But overall, all Aquarius should feel like there's a new you emerging. There's like a new sense of identity being built. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to what comes up for you during the first days of Aquarius season, and especially during the full moon as well, the January 25th full moon. Mercury enters Aquarius, and between February 5th and February 10th, that's when all the aha moments, oh, this is it. Okay, I get it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. These are the changes. This is the new me. Or you're starting to get a glimpse at that. Between February 5th and February 10th. And then you have a new moon. That's what I was saying. You only get a new moon in your first house. Once a year, for the most part. So, definitely set intentions, or at least sit down and think about the pros and cons. Think about what's going on in your life, what's changing, what ended in 2023, what is starting again. What are the vibes? How is that transformation shaping for you already? This is a long transit, but this Aquarius season, you're gonna get some information that will help you move forward. And the thing is, you need to remember this too. Even though the sun is gonna be in your sign, you're bound to feel kind of tired until February 13th. And the reason is because Mars is in your 12th house until February 13th. So when Mars is in your 12th house, you don't have a lot of energy. Like, your drive and your ambition is kind of ghosting you for a minute. Don't worry. On February 13th, Mars now enters Aquarius. And that's when you're going to feel ready to go. You might even feel it 1 or 2 days before. Like, okay, Mars enters your sign and you're like, whoa, let's do this. But remember, Mars is also going to form a conjunction with Pluto. So overall, this is a great time to embrace introspection, to sit down and ask yourself all the questions. You might even want to go down memory lane and figure out how you changed so much in the past 15 years and how that informs your new sense of identity. When Mars enters your sign on February 13th, it's go time. Pisces. You are going to change completely the way you see everything that the 12th house rules, which is spirituality, the subconscious mind, dreams, how you process life in general, because Pluto enters your 12 houses of conscious mind. That and that is a perfect energy for you, Pisces. That is a perfect energy for you, because you love all those things. You love the non-tangible side of life. And so dive into. If you've ever wanted to study, think about this, hypnotherapy, tarot, anything like that, anything, or maybe even just do regular therapy. Not because there's something wrong with you, but because you're getting better or you want to work on yourself. Pluto is going to change all of that. It's going to develop it more. It's going to bring so much depth to your dreams. So this is a really long transit, but it's definitely something that we need to start thinking about for you, Pisces. And you have the next 20 years to work with this energy, so there's no rush. But it's definitely a good time to be aware that deeper and deeper, you're going to start getting into all of this practices of like maybe dream journaling or diving into mystical practices, because Pluto is going to inspire you to do that. The new moon, this month's new moon, the February 9th new moon, will be a time for rest. When you have a new moon in your 12th house, you have a tendency to feel really tired, to feel kind of like out of energy. So definitely make sure to book a massage, to book some self-care. And if you feel attracted to any of the things that I just mentioned, like hypnotherapy, tarot studies, and all of that, this would be a really good new moon to begin that, or plant the seed of intention. There will also be opportunities to be social this Aquarius season, because Mercury and Mars will travel in your house of networking. So even though there's like I'm feeling tired, I need more rest kind of energy for you, you will be establishing collaborations, or you're going to be making friends or networking this Aquarius season. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, so now for Aries. Well, Aries rising or Aries sun. I encourage you to read these horoscopes first for your rising sun and then your sun sign. You're feeling it. You're feeling yourself because Mars is in Capricorn, and you're like, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put things into action. And you're right to do this, because this is the perfect time to do that. Also, Capricorn is your 10th house of career. You're making headway. You are, even if it doesn't seem like it, you're doing things. You're moving. You're pitching. You're working. You're sending emails. You're making stuff happen. And Aquarius season is the perfect time to do that. The Leo full moon could bring intensity. Why? Because that's the same day that Mars clashes with Chiron in your sign. That is a full moon to be careful. Because things can be taken out of proportion so easily during that full moon. And we know that Leo is your fire sign friend. So it will be easy for you to just lose it if somebody pushes the wrong buttons. And especially at work. Especially at work, because Mars is in your career sector. So make sure to just keep it chill. Keep it chill. Even 2 days after the full moon, just take a chill pill. And go with the flow. And the Aquarius new moon, the February 9th Aquarius new moon, is happening in your sector of hopes and dreams. That's the 11th house. So the 11th house in traditional astrology is the house that rules hopes and dreams. So this is the best new moon of the year for you to remember that. Maybe pull that list of wishes and like rework it. Say it out loud. Say it to the world. Because it's so important for us to activate our voice. So this is a new moon for you to do that. Activate your voice. Say what you want. Say it to the winds. Okay, so Taurus now. Whoa. Taurus. And I'm Taurus rising, so I'm right there with you. This could be a little bit of a testing time. But you can literally turn things to your advantage. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this Aquarius season has activations of Uranus in your sign. Uranus has been retrograde. So you've been getting kind of like a break from all this change, like a break from so many ups and downs that you've been experiencing at the beginning of 2023, for example. Well, Uranus is coming out of retrograde, so a little bit more ups and downs. You might feel certain days like you're like anxious or just a little bit uncomfortable. But trust me, this is one of those times in which meditation will help you enormously. Because Uranian energy of genius is trying to come down. It's trying to get to you. But if you don't let it in by embracing stillness and listening to your body, it might be a little difficult to channel that as planets activate Uranus. This is especially true around January 26th and February 8th. So put those dates on your calendar. And if you're feeling funky, you know what it is. If you're feeling like your body's achy, go to yin yoga or practice meditation just so the energy can flow through. And Uranus also brings genius moments. Taurus. And the good news is that besides of Uranus being activated in your sign, Jupiter is as well. You will get good opportunities. But in order to embrace them, you're going to have to be okay with change. Be okay with surprises. And try to see the good side on all those surprises. If things don't shape the way you expect them to, some of these times, the more you're okay at going with the flow, the better this month will be, this season will be. You could be going on a trip, January 27, January 28. You could decide to go on a trip. Perhaps you can book travel, and this is long distance travel. So if you're in it for a break, this would be a good time to make plans. And then we know that you're ruled by Venus. And between February 15th and February 17th, Venus conjuncts Pluto. So those are days in which you want to really pay attention to what comes up in relationships. There might be some intensity with friends, or you might just feel obsessed with your partner. If you have one, that's not that bad. But there's an energy of intensity for your relationships in the middle of the month. Good luck to you, Taurus, and I'm right there with you because I'm Taurus rising. So all of this I'm taking note of as well. Gemini. The good news, Gemini, is that Aquarius energy is very friendly to you. It's very friendly to you because you are an air sign like Aquarius. So there will be a lot of there will be some flow for you. There will be some flow. But for example, we see that Pluto enters your 9th house. And even though this is a friendly energy, it will inspire you to change your entire belief system. It will change how you see the world. So pay attention to what comes up for you this month. Like, what are the new ideas that seem exciting? What are the new flavors, the new colors, the new ways of seeing the world? And the full moon, the January 25th full moon, might bring some people into your orbit. Pay attention to that. That could be really interesting. And then the new moon, the Aquarius new moon, could be a good time to start thinking about career opportunities or setting intentions for your career. That would be a good time to, again, you have to be willing to change your strategy and change your plans at some point. But it does feel like a good opportunity to at least sit down and think about that. Your luckiest day arrives on February 10th. When Mercury activates Jupiter. This feels like a really good time for wishes, for reaching out to mentors, to powerful people, because Jupiter rules mentors. This is a really nice day, February 10th. Cancer. Congratulations. You've graduated. You've experienced so much change in your relationships in the past 15 years, and there's been intensity there. But now that Pluto moves out of your 7th house, it just feels like a graduation. So celebrate yourself this Aquarius season. It's like you won't have to worry so much about people's true intentions. For example, what are these person's true intentions? That is something that was plaguing your mind for so many years. You no longer have to worry about that. Pluto moves to your 8th house of intimacy. That's a different energy. But that's all of that intensity that Pluto brings is no longer going to be in your one-on-one relationships. It will move to your relationships only if you're like married or have a serious partner. But that's a different subject. In a way, life will be easier. Let's just put it this way. Relating to people will be easier. Trusting people will start coming more naturally to you. So congratulations, Cancer. Then the thing is, Mars is still traveling in Aquarius. So you might not feel this shift that I was talking about right away, but you will feel it in the long run. That's what I meant. Don't be afraid to redraw the boundaries in an important relationship. Remember, because Saturn is in Pisces, people don't know where the boundaries are. You have to tell them. So that's something that you might have to do this Aquarius season, like telling people, hey, you crossed that. And that's okay. Mars is the perfect energy to do that. So don't be afraid of doing that. Okay. Leo. So now we go to Leo. Okay, Leo. You're beginning a transformative journey that's going to develop over the next 20 years. Wow. How exciting. And this transformation comes through your relationships, through your one-on-one connections. Let's think about your astrologer, some of your best friends, your therapist, or maybe your somebody who you deal with one-on-one. Relationships become incredibly important for you for the next 20 years. And this is the beginning of that transformation. Anytime you see something bothering you or triggering you for the good, it could be also positive, or every time you admire something about someone else, there's something there. Pay really good attention to that. Because this is Pluto. This is Pluto bringing to your attention something that needs to be changed about the way you relate with people, but also about you. Because relationships are mirrors. And so that's going to become your number one mantra for the next 20 years. Relationships are mirrors. Whatever I don't like about someone is reflecting something about myself. So intensity, but it's exciting. You're gonna experience so much growth because of your relationships. And of course, this month's full moon happens in your sign. So there's that big ending coming up. There's a big ending and maybe a big beginning too. But this full moon, because this full moon packs a punch, you want to be very careful with how you react, with how you respond. People will be feeling on edge, and you stay as the queen or king that you are, and the best you can do is to not overly react. Remember, when we have a full moon in our signs, we just feel really emotional. So give your space time to relax, restore your energy, book a massage or a pampering session that day. That's normally what I do in every full moon, by the way. The good news too is that your career gets like a lift, because there are activations of Jupiter, which is in your career sector. So there might be a lot of movement there, but ups and downs because Uranus is going to get activated. Remember, going with the flow. Going with the flow in your career sector will help you expand in that area. So, and you're a fixed sign, so it's really important to embrace change. This is especially true also on January 26th, because the day after the full moon, Uranus comes out of retrograde. So there will be shifts at work. There will be shifts in your business or in your career. Virgo. Well, you are a worker bee, which is great. Obviously, it's one of your strengths. Pluto does enter your 6th house of work. So there is intensity coming in your workplace, or there are just a lot of changes happening all at once. And you might be feeling like, I can't keep up. This is a lot going on at once. I'm just, use your energy wisely. Use your energy wisely, and especially around the full moon, around the January 25th full moon, because things will get magnified around that time. The good news is that there are a lot of really good activations of Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, which is your friend. Taurus is your friend. So there will be nice trines There will be nice trines. I do think that if you haven't taken a vacation in a while, the last days of January are perfect for that. And why am I saying that? Because there are activations that will probably instigate you, even though everything's changing and you might have a big workload. You might decide to take a break at the end of January. I would suggest doing that because afterwards Mars enters Aquarius. And so the load will be even, the load will be heavier when Mars enters, both Mars and Venus enter Aquarius later in February. So I think that January, the last days of January are great for like a break or a staycation, just so you can recuperate your energy. And then you go on full steam. Because when Mars enters Aquarius, then you have 6 weeks of full-on productivity. But you want to be rested to make the best of it. Libra. Another graduation. We have a lot of graduations happening here. For you, it's just Pluto has been in your home sector for so long. So this feels like a breath of fresh air. If you've been experiencing extremes, ups and downs with your family, with your brothers and sisters, maybe your partner or family members, or if you've had an ongoing battle there, Pluto leaving this house just feels like a breath of fresh air. So congratulations. That was not easy. That was a 15-year transit that was not easy. So celebrate yourself and your family and your people. And remember that Aquarius rules your sector of fun, play, and romance. So this would be a perfect time to take a vacation also, Aquarius season. It would be a perfect time to just relax, have more plans on your calendar, and enjoy life. And I have here January 27th, 28th, and February 10th are magnificent for taking a relationship to the next level. In case that you've been thinking about that. We know that Libra, you are transforming this year. This is a transformative year for you. So be nice to yourself. Say goodbye to anything that's leaving your life and know that it's happening for a reason. I've been getting a lot of messages from Libras asking what's wrong. It's the south node in your sign. This is the entire year. It doesn't relate to Aquarius season, but I just want to let you know that you're not alone. Libras are transforming. And so this season that you're going to receive a lot of trines to your sun, be nice to yourself. Pamper yourself. Scorpio. Well. I don't know about you, and maybe I'm a Scorpio sun, so I hope I'm not projecting on you, but we are ruled by Pluto. If you're a Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, Scorpio sun, you know Pluto really well. I'm a Scorpio sun, and the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 has just, really brought up endings and beginnings in my life. Closing, because you think about it this way. Pluto is your planet, and if Pluto is moving, it's making a move that it does Pluto won't make a move like this again in a really long time. It will go back to Capricorn later this year, but once it's in Aquarius, it's not going to move signs for 20 years. So imagine this, when the planet that rules your sun or your chart, in this case, Scorpio rising, makes such a powerful move, you're making that move too. So let the past be in the past, Scorpio. Scorpio is a fixed sign that doesn't like change. And it's so difficult to process all of this. At least that's how I've been feeling. I've been processing Big decisions that I made at the end of 2023, I'm not regretting them. I'm processing them, and you might be doing the same. There's no going back. There are so many possibilities in front of you. So let it go. Aquarius is a time to move into the future, and you will feel that energy. Maybe you're still processing like me, but when the new moon in Aquarius arrives, that's when I feel like we stop processing so much and we start thinking, okay, what am I going to do next? What's next for me? And then what else? There's a lot of activity in your romance sector. So that feels sweet. Because Taurus rules your 7th house. There are activations of Jupiter there. Remember those dates that I said that were really good? The last days of January. Those days that feel really good for romance and passion. But again, there might be surprises because Uranus is there and Uranus is getting activated. So this is a time to just surrender, Scorpio. To not wanting to control everything so much. Just surrender and knowing that you're heading into a different era. How exciting is that? I'm excited about it. Sagittarius. Congratulations. Pluto leaves your financial sector. Finally. Nice. What that means is that you won't experience so many ups and downs in your finances and in your bank accounts, or maybe in the inner and outer flow of money. This also feels like a graduation. We know how money affects us, and like for you, that is over now. The transformation goes into your communication. So you now, for the next 20 years, you will transform deeply the way you talk, write, and even think. Your thought process is going to start changing tremendously. But there's nothing to worry about. This is a natural evolution, and you're probably ready for that. You're probably ready for change. Let's see what else. You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. You're going to have a heavy workload. So even though you might feel very social this Aquarius season, because Aquarius it's a sign that gets along really well with your sign, there might be a heavy workload. And so here I have the dates, January 27th, 28th, and February 10th, especially could feel busy. And lastly, Capricorn. Congratulations. If there's anyone to give congratulations, is you. Take a moment this weekend to honor yourself, to honor the immense evolution you've experienced since 2008. Wow. It feels like a time to give to yourself something. This Aquarius season, give yourself something. Buy yourself something nice. Go get a massage. Go get a nice dinner. Buy yourself a nice bottle of wine. I would do that if I were a Capricorn. Because you endured a lot. This is especially true if you have more than one planet in Capricorn. Or if you have a Capricorn moon at the last degrees. You've transformed in incredible ways. And so Pluto leaves your sign, and that just feels like a weight coming off your shoulders. Now it's going to move somewhere else, but for now, just celebrate yourself, honestly. Your finances is where this energy is coming now. And so Aquarius season will show you a lot of what to do around your finances, how to be more organized, what's happening there. I would, at some point in Aquarius season, actually, maybe like the new moon, it would be a good time to create a spreadsheet of your finances. And this is especially true if you haven't done this in a while. Get that spreadsheet going and know exactly how much you owe or how much you make or what's your budget. That's the vibe for you. It's a very tangible energy. And romance, because Taurus rules your 5th house of romance, and that is where Jupiter is going to be activated, and also Uranus. And so you could meet new people if you are looking, or there could be talks. There could be talks about taking things to the next level with someone, or it would be a great time to fill out an online dating profile. Because with so many activations of Jupiter, and actually Jupiter and Uranus are going to be doing big things in that house in the spring for your romance. So if you want to date, this is the time to start making moves for that to happen. All right, well, that was it for today. I hope you like this video. I spent a lot of time making these slides, but I'm doing it because I just enjoy creating content, and I'm really excited to be connecting with you here on YouTube. I'm new here relatively, and so hopefully you enjoyed my content. I do want to let you know that I offer readings. I offer tarot readings, astrology readings, and Akashic Records readings on my website. I also wrote a book about the moon. It's called Moon Signs Unlock Your Inner Luminary Power. And I created a free guide for you, a 13-page guide talking about all of the retrogrades of 2024. And I also created a video version, if you prefer that. You can find it on my YouTube channel, or you can download my 13-page retrograde guide from my website, which is completely free. Thank you so much for being here, and I will connect with you very soon. Bye-bye.